Sheriff Fox, you want to come up, sir, and lead us in the pledges?
Please stand and join me in the pledge to our flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will you please remain standing? Judge White, you want to come up, sir, and lead us in the invocation?
Well, I think you can hear me from here, but I know God can hear me from here. For 50 years has provided service to our county citizens and our promotion of good government. We ask that that would continue to be with us as we endeavor to carry out that mission. We thank Thee for all that we have, and we say these things in the name of Thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Please have a seat. Is that a little shallow? Okay. Now, who are we? John Myers, who is the Collin County Republican Men's Club? We are the traditional conservative party of Collin County. Okay? We are the traditional conservative party men's club in Collin County. As Judge White just said, we're 52 years old. We have been providing an educational forum and volunteer workforce for candidates and elected officials for many years, right, Judge?
Indeed.
Okay. Now, we do not endorse candidates. Okay? We are not a PAC, but you can call upon us for labor, and we're good at working a slammer, right, Wayne Tucker?
Yeah.
You know what a slammer is, right? First year I helped put out signs that were 4x8 plywoods, half-inch thick, and those old, Gary, you remember those things? And when it was raining, we started that out those signs, didn't we? I thought everybody liked them, but I found out that they just wanted my red pickup. I knew why they wanted on the deck. All right, we are blessed with tremendous leadership in Collin County. We have the first part of our program is a parade of elected officials who are serving the county. This evening, we have our state clerk, county clerk, I got to get to that, Stacy Kemp. Stacy, come up, and then and also now Lynn, come on up here, the county clerk, right?
Yes.
And then y'all turn it over, and you have 8 minutes. The young lady in the back here has served her county for how many years? 12, 16, 12 years. She has more awards than anybody in the city at her position. The most efficient operation, and we're proud of you and what you've done. This young lady inherited a wasp nest, and she has cleaned it up and has one of the most outstanding workforces, 60 people, 65 people?
76.
76 people. So they're going to tell you about why they should be re-elected in their current positions. Ladies, you want to come? If you want to speak or here's can you do it?
You're going to put up the page?
Right.
We were going to do a PowerPoint because it's always fun to do. Who do you need at the courthouse, the district clerk or the county clerk? Because often they call me the county clerk or they'll call Stacy the district clerk. And so but it's a 50-page PowerPoint, and usually it's like the whole meeting. So with 8 minutes, we just thought we would get up and tell you a little bit about ourselves and our office and kind of what we've been doing. So I just had them put up, this is always a good web page if you go down to the current weights, because the biggest complaint, I work with, I'm the district clerk, so I work with your 11 district court judges. And I also do passports, and I also handle all of the juries for all of the courts in Collin County. So this is something when you go and you ever want a passport, because that's usually the biggest complaints I get from just average citizens. You can actually go on our website and see if there's a wait. If there's no wait, come on up, because there are no appointment requirements. So that's just a benefit. It's not a core function. It's just a benefit to the people in Collin County that we provide the service, but it's also a service that we net almost $1 million to the general fund every year. So we employ people to be part of the passport process, but we also make a significant amount of money for the county in that way. I always think it's really important to go ahead and provide this core function, because who wants to deal with the feds if you don't have to deal with the feds? So that's just a little bit about that web page, and we of course do the legal filings and the legal copies. So my background is a little different. I'm originally from Tarrant County. I've been in Collin County for over 20 years. I'm an attorney. I've practiced law for now coming up almost 24 years. I'm licensed in Texas and Washington State. I practiced in the federal system as well, the northern, southern, and eastern districts of Texas. Never had any reason to go out to the western districts. So the nice thing about this job too is it is a constitutionally required position, but your last 3 district clerks have been attorneys. And it is not a requirement that you have a lawyer in that position, but I can sure tell you, jumping in, working with your district court judges, having to follow your constitutional and statutory mandates, protecting the records, the integrity of the records, access to justice, transparency. As a lawyer, I understand that, and you get it just when you run into the office, you can just start working because you understand that process. And I've been fortunate enough, I've only been in office since 2016. I came in on an unexpired term, so that's why I'm back on the ballot in 2018. I do have a Democrat who's never really been involved in government, but I was raised my whole life in the Republican Party, from my brother sitting on a bench in Tarrant County to my mother starting with school board and in her 60s ran for state rep and represented our state down in Austin. So that is kind of my background of being involved in government. But what we do right now and what is so important with the district clerk is I have 76 employees. Those are county employees. So the way we run it as Republicans, we are conservative in what we do, and we follow the rule of law, because that's what I have to do as the district clerk. And we also work vastly with technology right now, because as we're growing so quickly in this county, and the cases are growing, and the number of jurors that I need are coming in, I'm looking at technology to help me bridge the gap between the huge amount of individuals coming in and the things we're going to have to do without having to grow the government exponentially in Collin County. And technology can help me do that. There are a lot of neat things we're doing, but I don't really have time to go through all of those. But I have been fortunate enough to be asked by Justice Heck to work on an advisory council in Austin, and it is about providing service to individuals in Collin County and access to justice that can't afford lawyers. So we have done a lot of work in regards to that. In Collin County, in the nation, we are actually the best at getting people that need to file their own legal paperwork and e-file it or bring it to the courthouse. We are by far the best in the nation, according to Tyler Technology and OCA, which is the regulatory branch of the Supreme Court. So it's those kinds of things that we're doing in Collin County, and as a lawyer, we're able to I'm able to lead those individuals and get those things done. So I really would ask for your vote in November. It is very important. We are down ballot, but we have, between the two of us, have almost 200 county employees. And how we run the county and how we run our offices has a lot to do with our core conservative values as a Republican. So with that said, we do ask for your vote. And I have a Democrat. Stacy is a Democrat and a Libertarian. She needs your help down ballot for sure.
All right, another question, Ruth. Have you got a website?
I do have a website.
Right. What is your website?
It's lynnfinley.com, www.lynnfinley.com.
And they can take, you accepting greenbacks contributions?
I am, and I'm going to send out an email. There are so many fundraisers, and I think Stacey and I both have this feeling that the Fifth Court of Appeals is so vital right now, and they have such a huge burden that we've tried to step back as a county, because we think from a county position we have a lot of support. But that Fifth Court of Appeals, those justices have to go through 6 counties. And so if there was money that was out there, we really wanted it to be directed towards them, because they are going to be very important to not only the rule of law in our county, but throughout the state of Texas, because they are precedent in our county, but they still carry weight and influence in other counties in Texas. If they rule on the rule of law in a particular way, we can't lose those positions. So that's why we're doing that. But we will be sending an email out, and we appreciate your support.
All right,
Then
Stacy?
was I somewhere and met your mom and she said something about you were Miss Texas or Team Texas? What's that?
Sit down. I'm from Texas. You have to do pageants.
Your mother told me all about it.
Oh, thank you. That being said, thanks for bringing my mom.
Hello, my name is Stacy Kemp, and I do serve honorably as your county clerk. And some of the functions that the county clerk does, if you look up here, we issue marriage license, birth, death. If you buy a home, it's going to come through our department. Mental health, 7 county courts, court collections, the treasury functions. And we do more with less. I mean, and it's from the top all the way down. Our Odyssey system, as Lynn was mentioning, it starts from the jail. The jail processes the inmates, then it comes over to the courts. We do our due diligence, and then it goes to the judges, and then they do their due diligence, and we process them and move them on out. And it wouldn't happen if the commissioners didn't give us the revenue or the money and stuff that we needed to get these processes moving. Some of the things that I'm proud of our office, since I've taken office, we've implemented technology in the land and records, land and vital systems. We've done a court system, we've done a financial system, and I'm just trying to think of different things that we do. We do the DD-214s. One of my projects that I've won an award for is the cattle brands, and most people think, what do you do with the cattle brand here in Collin County? Well, actually, we issued over 354 cattle brands. The Cattle Raisers Association contacted me this past week. They want to get with our office because we did a electronic cattle brand, and they're going to implement it throughout the state of Texas, so I'm very proud of that. In my office, since I've taken office, we've won 8 national best practice awards, and we've won 13 state awards for efficiencies and best practices throughout the state of Texas. Another award that we've won was on the genealogy corner. One that I'm proud of is on the foreclosure notices. We've had over 1 million hits just on that website in the past year. And what that website does is you can go in, and if there's a property that's being foreclosed on, you can either put it in by name or by address, and then it pulls up central appraisal, it pulls up the tax assessor collector, it pulls up the notice, so everything's in one shot. And that was the one award that I won this year for best practice, was on the foreclosures. And we couldn't do it if it wasn't for our staff and it wasn't for our IT. Our IT people are amazing. I go to them with my dream every year, and I'm like, can y'all make this happen? And they're like, yeah, we'll work on it. So, in the county clerk's office, we are the official custodian of all the records, the commissioner's court records, the land records. We have over 10 million records that we are responsible for. And a little bit of mine, I grew up in Collin County. I went to school here. I'm married. I have a daughter. She lives in College Station. She's a Red Raider, not an Aggie. And she's 2. And I'll take any questions so we can move this on.
You have a website. So
I do. It's at stacykemp.net. We're still working on that. You can't put any donations on it yet, but it'll be coming up.
Are the awards on that website and on the county clerk website?
Yes, they are on the county clerk website. We've got, I'd love for you to come in and look, because one of the other things that I didn't mention is restoring all the old records. We've got a money that we collect off of each document that goes into this fund, and that's the only thing that we can do with it. The county doesn't get it. It's only the clerk's money, and it's to preserve the records by law. We have to preserve everything from the beginning of time to 1951. If you could see what we've done, it's amazing. And I would encourage y'all to come in and look at the records and take any questions.
So Nathan's old pictures are not in there.
Yes, they are.
They are. I figured they were.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let me give you a little bit of agenda on how we're going to do things. We're having next one item of business, and then our speakers. After our speaker's presentation, then we will recognize all elected officials and all candidates. So y'all are going to have to stay the rest of the program, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, by design. Now, we're going to make one exception to our rule, and that's Jerry Madden never got his attention. Come on, Jerry. I told you have 30 seconds to make an appeal.
Guys, the SRHC members asked me to be the Candidate Resource Committee person for the Collin County for the state of Texas. Candidate Resource Committee raises the state party function that raises money for the down ballot candidates. As Stacy and Lynn were talking about, those that are district judge candidates, those that are county candidates running for county clerk, district clerk, some other things that they turn in requests for funds, and we have done a lot of funding for those people around the state this year. We're still looking for some additional money. I have forms here. If anybody would like to donate, we're taking any donations you want to make, and you corporate ones are also acceptable in this. So,
Now,
just,
Jared,
yeah.
what's the money, what's the purpose of the money?
Money goes to county candidates within the county that need additional funding.
Okay.
State party, additional funds coming from the state party.
So if
You will find that there are some people in Collin County who have actually received some fairly substantial amount of money from this.
All right, so our contributions should come back to our candidates.
Not necessarily, it could go any place in the state. We don't tie a specific donation to a specific candidate.
How do we get the assurance that our candidates are going to get money?
You can't, you gotta get your committee member who will try to work for them, and I can assure you that we're working hard on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good. And you're gonna have you're gonna be back here for
I'm
that?
going to be back here, sitting with Nathan sometime, and then anybody else, when we leave, I'll be back through the door and stand there waiting for you.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Jim, you got it? You got it where it will work? You put it on, are we gonna do the flag?
No.
You're not gonna show it?
No.
Okay. All right, then that covers that. All right, we are honored, but sure, okay.
I forgot this, and this is a really cool, important thing for y'all. This is one of the things that I implemented in our office. It's property fraud alert. And what this is, you sign up for it, it's free. But if any transaction takes place on your property, you're automatically sent an email notification to let you know, hey, you better come in and look at your deed. Because most people file a deed in our office and they never come look at it. This just helps keep identity theft away. So I'll have these back there. You can either have it for your email, or there's an 800 number that'll call you. So if you have any questions, let me know.
If I can just interject, I've been president of 2 Fortune 500 title companies. People do not realize how dangerous it is for their property. Because in my line of business, we would have, years ago, we would have anywhere from 10 to 25 properties a year that someone would have stolen that property and borrowed money against it, and the homeowner would have no idea. So that's a wonderful program.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. We have a distinguished gentleman, a speaker this evening. We all deal with this problem daily. In the media, we hear about people invading our country. Being a native Texan, it's been my entire life we've heard about it. I remember when a bus would drive up to a client, and they'd go out and load up 50 wetbacks, is what we call them. Did I say that here? Okay. And so the plan has changed. Can you use that number? You didn't hear that. Okay. I was afraid of that. Okay. But, well, let me tell you a lighter side, and then I've got to tell you this story. My daughter, Mr. Williams, director with, my daughter was going to Baylor, and she came in for the weekend, and we're at the dinner table, and she said, Dad, you'll be so proud, but I think I met my future son-in-law, and I know you're going to just love it. Okay, you're going to like it. I said, oh, really? Yeah. And where did you meet him? Well, I think it's up in Hillsboro, coming through Hillsboro. And I said, really? And she said, yeah, Daddy, he's got the superest car you've ever seen. And I mean, he drives real fast, and Dad, he has the nicest uniform in the world. I said, okay, now I know the rest of the story. She got the first ticket. Department of Public Safety. I called Sheriff Skinner and said, sir, I want a special privilege for you this evening. You deal with the Department of Public Safety and the complexity of their job and keeping our streets and us, our citizens safe. And so we're going to hear the story of how we deal with the problem. And Sheriff Skinner, will you please introduce our speaker?
My pleasure. My pleasure. First of all, let me tell you, you really are lucky for Lynn and Stacy. You guys really do have some great clerks. I know my job every day is a lot simpler and runs a lot smoother because of those two. I appreciate you. Yes, Sheriff Box, you can testify. We do have a lot of cattle in Collin County. 10:30 Friday night, I was out with a young deputy. We were actually corralling some out on a dark highway ourselves. That does happen because we don't want DPS to come out and have to work that wreck. It is a privilege tonight to be able to introduce the speaker. You know, if you look around the United States, in our 50 states, there is no other state that has a closer relationship with their state law enforcement than we do with ours here in Texas. Texas DPS, you can stop them at any time, any of the administration of DPS, and they'll tell you that the reason they're here is to support local law enforcement. They are never the ones to jump up and take credit for anything, although it's them that always pitches so hard in to help us do our job on a daily basis. DPS in Collin County, you might know, they operate with our deputies every day and every night. They're on our same radio frequencies.
One is that if we do that, let's have all the elected officials and candidates come up here, and if you will, parade through and identify yourself and your position. So let's start with elected officials first. Okay. Barry?
No, I'll yield to the candidates.
Well, as everybody lines up, I got to tell you a story. You know, if you're not from Texas, you got to tell a story. And I get everybody's attention. Everybody have a ticket? Everybody have a ticket? Okay. Now, I'm a deer hunter, right? And Judge, I know it's been 12, 15 years, but a pretty good memory. And we went down to the King's Ranch. There's 5 of us. And we got down and wanted to go to the blinds, and they said, Mr. Dodson, come on, we got a special blind we're going to put you in. And so we got in a pickup truck and drove, I don't know, 8 or 10 minutes, and went over and he put me in this blind and right next to the King's Ranch. And he said, now let me tell you the rules. He said, number 1, when you shoot a deer, don't get out of the damn blind. Okay, you stay in your blind, we'll come get you, and we'll go get the deer. He said, number 2, if there's any wetbacks coming by here, he said, you don't feed them. And he said, if they come up to your blind, you get in that blind, you shoot the SOB, because they want to get your gun, they'll kill you. I said, you kidding me? Okay, now I'll tell you chapter 2. It was about an hour and a half, and there was a group of them, about 18. Most of them are family, juveniles are smaller, and they wanted food. Now, I did not give them any food, and I didn't threaten them with my gun, but it was a real situation, okay? And of course, there wasn't any damn deer, because with all the kids and the family going through the human sin, you know, there wasn't anything. So that's my rest of my story. Sir, do you want to come and identify yourself, Judge? You want to turn this off? That's a light will be on everybody.
How do you want this? Spotlight.
What are we going to put on the line? Oh, everybody, look at this.
Isn't that cool?
Stand back just a minute. Turn off that light, just
That's cool.
in the hallway. Turn off number 1, please, Gary. Light number 1. We gotta get some recognition.
Put it up.
Number 1.
Oh, I'm the guy inside.
Keep going. Right there.
The other number 1. That's number 1. Now look at this, people. Our new image. Thanks to Mr. Jim Bortsfield.
Hey!
All right, look at that graphic work.
You take a fresh flag and put our logo on.
Yes. Isn't that terrific? Free Jim, I did it hours and hours. Okay. Now we got another one. Is the other one on your machine too? The other graphic that you did? The 4-minute one? Okay. Go ahead, Judge.
So I'm Mike Yarbrough, Justice of the Peace Precinct 4. I sit in Frisco, and I have a Democratic opponent, so I'm really encouraging everyone to get out and vote. Thank you.
Judge?
I'm Mark Rush, I'm the judge of the 401st, and I'm not on the ballot. Best damn county clerk in the country.
Turn the lights
And he's
on.
awfully damn good district clerk, but I'm not allowed to use my office to advance the interests of another. I'm just making an observation. On a day of the week, hour of the day, holiday, that I have an issue to warrant you, make sure you guys have my Dropbox account. Have them email me.
Thank you very much.
Young man?
I'm Darrell Hale. I'm your Republican nominee.
Just in case you get elected, you'll be setting my budget. I'll make sure
Take care of your raises and that stuff.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I have a Democratic opponent. He's actually, for a Democrat, he's fairly competent. So definitely appreciate your support. Thank you.
Amen.
My name is Brian Newman. I'm here representing Angela Paxton tonight. Angela, as many of you know, is running for Texas State Senate, SD8, the office that's currently held by Van Taylor, the most conservative member of the Senate. So Angela is looking forward to following his footsteps, and she and her husband Ken, the Attorney General, are all about securing Texas and securing the border, stopping human trafficking. So we appreciate your support in November. Get your family and friends to vote. Vote down ballot Republican all the way. Please. Thank you.
My name is Mike Misseldine. Yes, I am a deputy constable for Precinct 4 here in Collin County, but I'm also your Republican candidate for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 3, Place 2, which is John Payton's old position. I look forward to serving as your next JP and serving the best I can with all my experience, 23 years plus experience as a police officer, as well as 2 master's degrees in leadership and public administration, and soon to be a doctoral candidate right now, but soon to have a doctorate in psychology. So I just look forward to being able to serve y'all.
Do you have a website?
Yes, sir, I do.
Can you take contributions?
Absolutely, yes, definitely take contributions. It's www.mike4jp3and2.com.
And the candidate resource committee can sometimes be of value.
That means kid only for money.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate y'all's support too.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Young man?
Hello, my name is Scott Gregg. I've met many of you. I currently serve as the Financial Operations Manager in the Collin County Tax Office, so I'm going to want to make sure that all the money you give me goes where it's supposed to go. I will be, with our current tax assessor planning to retire, I am running for his position in 2020. So my goal is to be your next tax assessor.
Now let's just clarify, you're not on the ballot.
I'm not on the ballot in 20, so I am getting out and trying to meet as many people as I am, and I'm also helping ladies like Stacy and Lynn and the other people that have been out there. So if you're around, you see me block walking on Saturdays and getting out there.
And you're an employee of the county?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Judge?
So I'm Judge Raleigh. I am currently the Justice of the Peace in Precinct 1. You've seen a couple of the Justice of the Peace candidates come up. I'm the better looking of all of them.
Yeah, your wife will agree.
Yes. I'm going to stick around to the end of the meeting, and if you live in Fairview, McKinney, Melissa, or Anna, that's my precinct up in that way, and I'd be glad to meet you. I wanted to say that we don't think a lot of the border security very much here, but remember, everything that you saw, they're stealing our trucks. They're bringing those drugs into our communities. So everything that happens on that border is directly related to McKinney, Texas, Collin County, Texas. And so remember, we really got to support these guys a whole lot. I'm going to stay around all night long. Reelectraleigh.com is my website. And I've got some handout material back there, and I thank you all for letting me talk to you.
Thank you, Judge. Okay.